Prior to becoming the leader of a cult, Charles Manson spent years digesting the drug-ridden and occult world of Haight-Ashbury and fancied himself as a movie producer. Manson was deeply worshipful of Satan and encouraged his family of followers to be as well.
Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people, then I would have felt better. Then when I felt like I really offered society something.
Convicted member of the Manson clan, Susan Atkins, said, in time, he was to call himself Satan and the devil sometimes.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left. There'd be none of you left. There'd be none of you left.
His followers were brainwashed into compliance. Using music and movies, Manson was able to get inside the heads of his followers and lay whatever foundation he wanted. Family members who resided with Manson at the movie ranch have described how Manson would play movies over and over all night long. These were used to indoctrinate and break down the inhibitions of his followers. One family member stated, the family had things where they'd show flicks. They were running 4 or 5 movies at once, you know, playing tapes at the ranch. For movie screens, they hung up white sheets for these grim events. And the films shown seem to have been reels of family happenings, music, the knife dance, lots of sex, but other films also. This set the stage for Manson to further twist their impressionable minds.
We are what you have made us. We were brought up on your TV. We were brought up watching Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel, FBI, Combat. This guy you were looking to for, you know, entertainment or whatever you want to call it, was killing all through the show. Every show we ever watched was all killing. All those old-time gangster movies where you know, it was all exciting. They were in the cars with the low hats on and they were cruising and they were shooting out the windows, or, you know, it was all exciting. And we are what you made us.
Let us not forget that in TV we have the greatest instrument for mass persuasion in the history of the world.
An important thing to look at here is you look at someone like Madonna, who's very popular in the mainstream media, and Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, who has definitely influenced the media on different levels. And both those people acknowledge the power of the media, and they know that it influences people, and that's where they make all their money. That's their bread and butter, is the media. So they know they're influencing all kinds of people. And they know that they're corrupting the culture, because when they were asked if their kids were allowed to watch TV, they said no. In fact, Madonna said that she thought MTV and television was poison. So now the question that's begged is, well, wait, why are these people that are so influential in the media, why will they not allow their kids to be corrupted, but be such prominent players in corrupting ours?
You put it out there and hopefully they get it. And I always like to think of it as like, I've got them sitting there, whip a little message at them, whip a little moral at them, whip a little of what my view of the world is, because that's what every good filmmaker does. And we'll lead the world into the 21st century, and I'll make a profit on their backs.
This constant barrage of TV propaganda has left an indelible impression on the youth of the world. In accord with Aleister Crowley's mandate for an army of youth whereby he could control the world, the demon-possessed and master propagandist Adolf Hitler declared that film was to be used for the education of the youth. Propaganda, also called mind-raping by the Nazis, was aimed at brainwashing the youth and was so powerful that Hitler once bragged, they will never again be free for the rest of their lives.
Und wir möchten nun, dass ihr, deutsche Jungs und deutsche Mädchen,
Adolf Hitler opportunistically set the campaign for his occult agenda in motion by indoctrinating children at a very early age. In order to completely own the minds of the children, he created the Youth Film Hours, where it was mandatory to watch movie after movie that painted the Nazis in a positive light. These Youth Film Hours were so successful that they even replaced Sunday school. He outlined, my program for educating youth is hard. Weakness must be hammered away. In my castles of the Teutonic Order, a youth will grow up before which the world will tremble. I want a brutal, domineering, fearless, cruel youth. Youth must be all that. It must bear pain. There must be nothing gentle about it. The free, splendid beast of prey must once again flash from his eyes. That is how I will eradicate thousands of years of human domestication. That is how I will create the new order. Coincidentally, the last troops to hold out against Allied forces in Berlin, Germany were armies comprised of the youth. Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Enlightenment and Propaganda, had clear objectives for the Nazi filmmakers. I kept impressing my people with one basic truth: repeat everything until the last, most stupid person has understood. How many movies and shows really say the same things over and over in different ways to us? That you can live as you want, be it free sex, drugs, exalting yourself above others. That life's problems can be worked out without God, or that there is no God.
Don't talk about right and wrong with me, man, because I just don't give a
It's easy to condemn the Nazi regime as barbaric, yet we are being duped in the same ways as they were by a regime that rejects God and exalts immorality.
It was and is America's first form of sex education.
You got it.
Want to make love to me?
Oh, yes, yes.
You leave your life outside the theater, go into that dark room, and it draws you closer to the person on screen.
Don't stop. Let's do it.
Get on your knees.
There is a gorgeous woman on my bed.
You guys are gonna aren't you?
You have someone like that who's very sexually open, in fact, open.
I'm a horny girl, what can I say?
You like a little freedom or something? You want to dabble? We can all, we can all have sex together.
I am doing what I feel like doing.
Well, what do you feel like doing?
Orgy! Have an orgy! Orgy!
It never occurred to me that we could have sex with multiple people together, and that it would be okay.
Hollywood learned the basic lesson: when in doubt, go to sex.
People have this mistaken notion that the Hollywood system has principles, morals, or values. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I probably spent a month with hookers and pimps.
A prostitute is a woman who will give you a great deal for relatively little money.
Today, the movie industry, empowered with demonic force and authority, is shamelessly indoctrinating us with the same messages of carefully crafted immoral propaganda over and over.
And what classes are you taking?
Gangbang 101, freebase tutorial, and oral sex workshop.
So what if these women are in porn? They're not hurting anybody.
To the contrary, TV can hurt people. Jennifer Aniston admits, TV is definitely guilty of putting out unrealistic images of what is socially acceptable. I'm guilty of it too. Bill Cosby asks, the networks say they don't influence anybody. If that's true, why do they have commercials? Why am I sitting there with Jell-O pudding?
A movie that we can never forget, love so much, is part of our youth, is part of our lives.
Natalie Portman states the obvious. Films have a big influence on young people.
Oh, movies are important and they're dangerous because it's, you go into a little dark room and become incredibly vulnerable. And they can completely misshape you.
And Kristen Johnson of NBC's Third Rock from the Sun states, I know I'm biting the hand that feeds me, but TV can really suck the brains right out of your body. If those who control and run the media machine admit that they clearly influence how we think, act, and what we aspire to, should we not be more careful to make sure that these influences positively glorify God in our lives and to responsibly censor and omit those that do not? The book of Proverbs states, guard your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the issues of life.
Women are not just moms or bitches or vaginas or whores.
Not only does Hollywood oftentimes have more influence on your kids than you do, but many of them arrogantly look down their noses at the movie and TV audiences who they greatly influence. Director George Lucas mocked, popcorn pictures have always ruled. Why do people go see these popcorn pictures when they're not good? Why is the public so stupid? That's not my fault. I just understood what people like to go see, and Steven has too, and we go for that.
I've entertained, I've pleased your children, I've pleased your wives, I've pleased you sons of bitches!
These were just nose-thumbing movies. They are there to thumb their nose at your values, saying, we don't care if you like us, we don't like you.
Are we stupid as they claim, and do we sell out our lives and the lives of our children to people who admittedly don't like us and knowingly destroy our souls? David Putnam, producer of Chariots of Fire and The Mission, confessed, movies are powerful, good or bad, they tinker around inside your brain. They steal up on you in the darkness of the cinema to form or conform social attitudes. In short, cinema is propaganda. The world at large has undergone a massive propaganda movement on a supernatural level that has captured the hearts of the youth with terrifying consequences and results. Demons have excessively introduced wasting doctrines of spiritual refuse that people have no idea that they're even receiving. Dr. Eric Pepper, a researcher who has conducted extensive studies on the influence of film, draws attention to his observations and that we do process what we see. He says, the horror of television is that the information goes in. It goes right into our memory pool and perhaps we react to it later, but we don't know what we're reacting to. So later on, you're doing things without knowing why you're doing them or where they came from.